She is the woman behind the character of Birgitte Nyborg of the famous political TV series Borgen. She is a non-mainstream, high-profile politician who came from Denmark to Brussels, and she's leading the battle against the biggest multinationals of the world over tax evasion in Europe. It's the Commissioner for Competition, Mrs. Margrethe Vestager. Commissioner, many thanks for being on the global conversation. So we have Google, Starbucks, Amazon, Gazprom, and now you just handed a record bill of 13 billion euros to Apple over unpaid taxes to Ireland. So there are a lot of reactions also from the United States. Can we speak about a conflict of interest?
No, I don't think so. Because when it comes to what you could call the global tax community, European Union and the US are on the same page. Because obviously we share sort of the very basics that not just most companies should pay their taxes, but that all companies should pay their taxes.
There are some member states, such as the Netherlands, Ireland or Luxembourg, which used to give incentives to many companies to attract, of course, investment and to come to Europe. And now you say, stop that. Why now?
Well, I still think that countries have a lot of room to compete about attractiveness. You still have the very low corporate taxation in Ireland of 12.5% compared to other countries with 20% or 22% or something like that, which is, you know, completely fair, protected by the treaty, this right to set your own corporate taxation. But it's another thing to give a sort of selective benefit open to one company so that this company do not pay the same amount of taxes as everyone else. I think that's a completely different ball game.
So you think that this is illegal?
Yes, we think that the way that Apple have paid taxes has taken a form of illegal state aid.
But they say, and the CEO of Apple said, that it's a political plan by the EU Commission, and it seems like the Commission now started really open the cases.
But the thing is that all our cases can be appealed to the European courts, and the courts will hear nothing of politics or attitudes or feelings in your stomach or whatever. They want the facts of the case. They want to see the case law. They want to hear our interpretation of court practice. And that, of course, keeps us on a very straight and narrow road in order to get a solid case, because we know that we might very well be challenged. And therefore, politics has no place here.
Is it a political plan by this EU Commission to stop the tax havens in the European Union?
What is our ambition is that profits are being taxed where profits are being generated. In the country where companies serve their customers, sell their products depending on quality, price, the services that they can give, and that this is the business model. Because if profits are shifted around from high tax country to low tax country, maybe all out to no tax countries, well then how can other businesses compete? And how can the citizens rely on a fair market to work for them?
And what are the next steps by your side?
Well, we have two cases pending, which is a case of McDonald's and a case of Amazon. And of course we will do the work with those cases as thorough and as dedicated as we have been done before in order to see if there is the fact to support a case. And that of course still remains to be seen.
Do you see any political responsibilities by the member states which did all these sweetheart tax deals with the companies?
Well, actually the thing is that I don't deal with shame and blame. What we try to do is to restore the level playing field so that taxes, unpaid taxes, are being recovered. Just as well as if you have had a bunch of cash in your hand, that it will be recovered if it's illegal. So this is not for us. And I think the important thing is, of course, change for the future. That in the future we have fewer and fewer selective benefits and more sort of general rules in order for companies to compete on fair terms.
Okay, let's speak about Europe now. How do you see Europe after Brexit?
Well, I think it is very important that we talk about what do the 27 then wants. because of course around the referendum and up to the referendum we all talked about the UK. Everything was about the UK. I think it's very important that we also talk about ourselves, the 27 who are here. Well, yes, this is a new situation. How can we make the best of it? Because a lot of people feel constraints and I think fear for their jobs and worry if their children can make it. Will they find a job? Even though they make an effort and take an education, can they then find a job? And that, of course, is, I think, very, very much down to earth, very concrete, and we have to work on that with member states.
But is the European Union right now united? Because we've seen with all this crisis, and the refugee crisis, of course, was on the top of that, divided the member states. Do you think that we should forget the European Union as we knew it so far?
No, why? I just think that we should keep building, maybe redecorating here or there, maybe sometimes add things or close down some rooms, but it's a very nice house to live in. I think one of the specialties of Europe is that we are both at once. We're both a number of countries with very strong national identities, with our language, with our culture, with the way things are done, also political cultures. And at the same time, we have a lot in common because we're all European. We share a history, but we also share an ambition for the future, which is very concrete, that individuals actually can live a life where they enjoy their rights and can pursue their dreams, and that they can see their children thrive. And that, I think, is the balancing that we always have to keep. And this is European. It's not the way of the US or Asian countries or African countries. This is truly European, that we don't necessarily unite in that way, but it is part of the picture that we're different.
So a personal question, that you came from Denmark to Brussels. You were a very high-profile politician there. How your life has changed?
Well, in a number of ways. I have had the time to discover Brussels, and it's a very nice and livable city. It's very green, but my life has changed sort of in a very sort of down-to-earth way, in that I'm afraid to bike here, and I miss the water. But that being said, it's a very nice place to live.
Commissioner, thank you very much for being with us.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.